What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another 3 Bros Running video. In this video, I'm gonna tell you the 3 best pieces of advice that I got from other race directors before starting my first race. Alright guys, so through our 3 Bros Running YouTube channel, we want to have other people want to learn how to throw races. If it's in our area, that's great. If it's other places, that's good too, because we believe that having more people and more races is just going to lift us up. So if there are other fledgling race directors out there that want to start a race, this is the place where you should be at. So go ahead and subscribe right now. So in this video, I want to talk to you about the 3 pieces of advice that I got from other race directors for starting our first race. And that was this race, Shannon's Run 5K, 10K. I don't know if y'all can see that, but right there, Shannon's Run was a race that we put together pretty much in about 4 months. And you know, that's a short amount of time to put on a race, but we were actually starting the process of starting the racing company back in probably October or earlier, because we wanted to learn as much as we could from other people. And one of the events that we went to was TRE, that is called the running event over in Austin, Texas, where it's pretty much a place where all the running companies are at for running stores and also for race directors. And we got to talk to a ton of people over there. Met a lot of companies, met a lot of other race directors, met a lot of vendors. So we talked to them, soaked up everything. And these are the 3 best advice that I got from all those conversations, and I'm gonna share with you right now. So the first one that I got was to take care of your runners. And what does that mean? If you take care of your runners, the runners will come back to you. It doesn't matter if your course is short, if something else went wrong that day, maybe you messed up with the age group awards or you messed up timing. As long as you take care of your runners, the runners will be happy and come back again and again and again. So what did we do for our race in order to take care of our runners? One of the things that we did was have 3 water stops. We actually had 4 water stops if you count the finish line as well. It was a hot day in May. May is super hot in Texas, and we had 3 water stops just to make sure that our runners are comfortable out there, have hydration, have water, have Gatorade. Even for a 5K, 10K, we wanted to make sure that they had whatever they wanted in order to have a race, because they are paying money for this race, so they want to have something that shows that they're actually getting the value for their money. So we had 3 water stops, 4 including the finish line. We also had shop towels where we drenched in ice water at one of the aid stations so that the runners could cool themselves off. Willie and I have run a ton of races, so we know that that's something that a lot of runners and ourselves we'd like to have. So we made sure we had that. Other races may not have that. And we wanted to make sure that everybody was cooled and having a good time. So the finish line actually included a covered area with huge fans. And we had 2 options in Orange to throw a race in. One of the places was an uncovered place, which was great. And it also was a great venue, but it wasn't covered. So for a race in May, we wanted to have a covered area for our runners to congregate after the race and enjoy themselves. And I think that's really what happened, because in a lot of races, especially locally here in Southeast Texas, people will tend to leave after the race. But if you saw our race, people were hanging out at the race, checking out the vendors, eating all the food, and enjoying themselves. So a lot of that is due to because they had a covered area that was cool, away from the sun. And speaking of food, we also had food for our runners at the end. And as a slower runner myself, I hate it whenever you get to the end of a race and there's no food for you. There's no food, there's no drink, they're closing up. So what we did, we made sure we had plenty of food. From the first runner, you got all the options you could have, and the last runner, you had those same exact options. So we made sure everybody had whatever they wanted for the race. So we took care of our runners, and this showed, especially in the comment section. A lot of people said, next time you guys throw a race, we will sign up, and click on that sign up whenever you guys throw a race. So it worked. And speaking of our next race is on October 8th. It's the Big Pumpkin Run. You guys can go sign up for that. If you're not here locally, you can sign up virtually. We have a virtual option as well. You guys don't have to be a runner. You guys could be a walker. I myself am a mid-pack to probably back of the pack runner right now. So you'll have no problem finishing this race in the time limits. You'll have an hour to finish a 5K, which is plenty of time for anybody out there to do a race. So yeah, our race is October 8th. Check out the links down below to sign up for that. So the second tip that I got from other race directors when I was talking to all of them at TRE and everybody else, like Rob. Rob is one of the people that we look up to. He is the race director of Trail Racing Over Texas, Trot. We saw what he did with his races and how he built them up, and that's what we're doing as well. But the second tip that we got from a lot of race directors, not only one of them, a lot of them told me this. I'm gonna put it the nice way that people told me, and that is to treat everybody like they are a 5-year-old. And what does that mean? That means not assuming anything. Like if there is a turn that you need to turn, make sure you have a bunch of turn signs so people will see it. Make sure it's spray painted on the ground. Make sure you have signage everywhere so people know the route. If you have any directions pre-race day, like where to pick up your packet, make sure they know the exact exit to take. Have direct directions as if they are a 5-year-old. Make sure to tell them exactly that. Like for instance, we had a virtual race, and then a lot of people have never ran a virtual race, so it was our assumption that we didn't need to put too much detail on the race sites. And whenever we did have people register for the virtual race, there was a lot of questions. They're like, how do you run a virtual race? How do you do this? So we had to make a video, we had to make it clear in the description on what exactly you should do to run a virtual race. And we took them step by step on how to enter all your data and do all that, just to make sure that people knew exactly how to input their data for the virtual race. So make sure you put things in the simplest terms as possible for runners, because they're anxious on running their 5K, trying to get through the race. So make sure everything is plain and simple, signage everywhere, everything is explained clearly. Make sure it's all there for people to know and learn. So treat everybody like a 5-year-old. All right, guys, so for the third thing that I learned from other race directors on how to throw a race, the biggest tip that they gave me was to tell a story, because you can't have a race without a story. So it's always good to have a themed race, have it for a cause, or have just a story around it. So like our next race is going to be the Big Pumpkin Run. We also have a charity that we are going to be donating to as well. You got to have that story in order to draw people into your business, into your company. That's part of the marketing strategy that we are trying to do here at Three Bros Running Company by having these YouTube videos. You guys are seeing what it takes behind the scenes to throw a race for y'all. You're seeing us visit the cities that we're going to, making our city a race destination. We took a tour of all the attractions, went on the roof of the First Presbyterian Church, did a lot of things in order to tell that story, and a lot of people are following us here on YouTube, on Facebook, on Instagram, on TikTok. All of that is super important for our story, and hope you guys are enjoying the story that we're trying to tell with Three Bros Running Company, with all our races, with the Big Pumpkin Run. Hope you guys are enjoying it, because that's what we're trying to do. And that's all the 3 things that I learned from race directors. There's a lot more other things as well, but we are Three Bros Running Company. That's why we're doing 3 tips for this video. All right, guys, make sure to sign up for the Big Pumpkin Run. It's happening on October 8th. We want you guys to support us so we can have a lot more races here in Southeast Texas and beyond. We want to bring a half marathon over here as well. So one day, if you guys support us, if you guys sign up for this race, it'll just be a domino effect. We'll be throwing more and bigger races, bigger dominoes in the future. All right, guys, hope you guys enjoyed this video. See you guys next one. Three Bros